Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Really awesome news. We learned all about the first episode of Titans, so I'm going to do a breakdown of the cast. There's a new round of the Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. So this is actually really cool. They basically have cast descriptions for the first 4 main characters, and they actually sound pretty familiar. They do a good way of describing the characters while at the same time sort of trying to openly hide who they're actually casting for, but you can tell just based on the descriptions. So the first one is John Crossland, that's the code name, male, late 20s, early 30s, Caucasian, equal parts charm and impenetrability. John is a cop, he has a nice smile, tired eyes, and a cool, distant manner. However, when provoked, his eyes are so lethal they drain a man of every last bit of spleen. John is haunted by the murder of his family, unbeknownst to those around him. He is also a vigilante. In the shadows, he fights with the commitment and conviction of an artist, the brutal grace of a dancer. Mentally and physically, he's covered in a map of scars, and though he fights to escape his past, it is often a losing battle. And then it just says series lead, as in the lead character. So very clearly, this is the Dick Grayson, Robin, Nightwing character. When they say late 20s, early 30s, that means he's Nightwing because Dick Grayson was still a teen Titan when he took the mantle of Nightwing. So you can just do the math on that. But I like the way they talk about the character being a cop and people around him not knowing that he's a vigilante. For a brief second, that made me wonder how he's going to pop up in this series and what his relationship with the other Teen Titans is going to be. Because if this is going to be Titans, if it's like the comics, then they've already been a team together. The Titans are just Teen Titans that aged out of the group, so it's like you go from one classroom to the other. It's like going from high school to college. So that's one thing they haven't explained yet. When they say he's a cop, I don't know if they're literally going to make that his day job, like Dick Grayson, the police officer by day, vigilante Nightwing by night. They could incorporate some Agent 37 type stuff. If you've been reading the Nightwing Rebirth comic, he actually works with troubled teens during the day. He does actually have a day job in Bloodhaven when he's not out beating the crap out of criminals. So as TV series tend to do, you have like your big adventures, but then you have to explain what they do when they're not sitting around punching villains in the face. So cop type shows are a little bit easier for people to budget out. It's always possible they could add that aspect to the TV show, but part of this might just be that they want to get somebody who looks like a cop for Nightwing. You remember Robin from Dark Knight Rises? He was a police officer before he became Robin. And of all places, I don't think it's going to be set in Gotham City. We already have a cop show that's set in Gotham City. It's literally called Gotham. But number 2, the next cast, Sarah, female, mid-teens, open ethnicity, troubled, bullied, often scarred, unwilling to show it. Sarah is a loner, more comfortable hiding in her hoodie than in making friends. Haunted by a dark force inside her, you're starting to sound a little more familiar, Sarah experiences violent episodes that she can't understand or control. She is also plagued by recurring nightmares that lead her across the country in search of help. Series regular. Halfway through that description, you guys are probably like, oh, that's Raven. She's haunted by nightmares of her father, Trigon. And the interesting thing here is that they say that she's been traveling across the country looking for help, and she's much younger than the Dick Grayson Nightwing character. So for comparison, imagine that the Nightwing character they're casting is the same age as Oliver Queen, Stephen Amell, late 20s, early 30s. And then like the youngest female cast member who's a superhero we have right now in the Arrowverse is Jesse Quick, and she's, I'd say, like early 20s, so this would be even younger than Jesse Quick. If you've been watching the new DC animated movies like the Justice League vs. Teen Titans, that was a story all about Raven's father, Trigon. She'd be much closer to that age, like 15, 16, 17, so like a solid 10 years younger than Dick Grayson, who sounds like he's going to be the oldest person on the Teen Titans based on these descriptions. So the way they're making it sound, we're going to meet Raven early in the series, and she'll be meeting the other Titans for the first time, and they won't know about Trigon. So we're starting to get a better picture for how their past is and how they fit together. So this is sounding more like Teen Titans with aged up characters that's called Titans rather than being like the Titans comic book. The difference is that Teen Titans is all about the characters coming together for the first time, learning about Ravager, Deathstroke, the Judas Contract, pretty much all the big Teen Titans stories that you remember. The Titans comic book is a little bit different, but I think they can do pretty much anything they want. So depending on what they specify, we can talk about comic book Easter eggs. But it sounds like Raven is going to be the baby of the team, along with another character that I'll talk about in a second. But going a little bit older, Casey, female, 20s, open ethnicity. Casey is a tall, stunning woman. Her beauty is so magnificent, it's almost inhuman. Elegant, refined, and mysterious. She is on the hunt to discover who is trying to kill her and why. And those that are after her are in for a surprise because she's more deadly than anyone they've ever encountered. Series regular. So very clearly they're talking about Starfire. Who's after her could be up for grabs. They could be talking about people on Earth that are just trying to track her down. Or they could be talking about her sister Blackfire from the Tamaran system who's tracked her to Earth. Because if you haven't read the comics, Kori is basically the queen of her home planet, but her older sister tries to take the throne, issues a coup. Kori escapes to Earth, becomes part of the Teen Titans, and then the rest is history, but they keep coming after her because she is the rightful queen of Tamara. The funny thing they might do to have her meet the Titans for the first time is if you saw the Teen Titans Judas Contract animated movie, it featured a flashback at the beginning where they run into Starfire. Dick Grayson helps save her while he is still Robin. She forms a bond with him, then joins the team, and the rest is history.
Ranas Mohar, Lelan Fomarl.
I did not see that coming.
Thank you. I am Coriander of Tamaran. Our kind can learn language from the act of kissing.
Useful.
But so far, based on the descriptions, it sounds like Nightwing will have been a vigilante while maybe also working as a police officer. Remains to be determined, while the others sort of run into him and then they come together as a team. But the last one, also very familiar. This was confirmed by Jeff Johns too. It's called Jax is the name. It says male, mid-late teens, open ethnicity, Asian preferred, funny and charming. This amateur thief's humor hides his insecurities and past pain. Not the toughest kid on the streets, he's learned to survive in a world with his wit and quick thinking. Series regular. Very clearly this is talking about Beast Boy or Gar. So the thing about him is they've changed the way his powers have worked in the comics. Because this is going to be live action and it is crazy expensive to turn someone into a bunch of different CG animals over and over again, what they might do is just give him the ability to talk to animals. It's actually pretty easy to do based on the way his powers work. So what happened is his parents were sort of genetic scientists working in Africa studying animals. He contracted a rare virus, and in order to save him, his parents injected him with this special DNA that turned him into an animal for a brief period. When the virus was gone, he reverted back, but he retained the ability to change into any animal that he wanted. So he was actually born as a human, but then became the Changeling. So Changeling was his first name in the comics before they started calling him Beast Boy. But to his friends, he's known as Gar, as in Garfield. So we'll see what they do with his powers. It's a little bit easier to do people like Raven's powers or Nightwing, who just has really acrobatic skills, or even Kori. Kori's powers would look a lot like Supergirl's powers because she can fly, she has energy beams. They're only casting these 4 right now, but what I'm expecting is that they'll build the team out slowly over this series, depending on how many episodes they have. But you guys can let me know what you think about all these and who you want to play Nightwing and all these other big characters. If they can nail Nightwing, I am totally cool with whoever they cast for the other characters as long as they all work as a group. So this is huge news. What they'll probably do is they might have some casting announcements to make at Comic-Con if they're casting right now, because they're supposed to be shooting later this year, but I don't think it's going to start till after Comic-Con. So even if they don't have footage ready late in July, what they'll probably do is just say, these are who your actors are, this is some concept footage, this is a little bit what it's going to look like, and that'll be it. But if you want to get ready for this, I just recommend you read some of the classic Teen Titans stories. Really, any of them will do. Or you could read the modern Titans comic book, even though the roster is a little bit different. But what's going to happen later today is I'll be posting some new Flash Season 4. There's also a bunch of other videos I'm trying to get through, so I'll add updates in the comments. So just look at that top comment that I pinned for my video schedule. Congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, Robin Wayne. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. While you wait for everything, click here for brand new Game of Thrones, and you can click here for brand new Flash. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.